Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Attack of the Bee Team. And as you can see, I've been doing a bit of fighting and have found myself a couple of crazy hats. This one is just super interesting. Found it quite amusing, so I threw it on my head. There is a whole ton of crazy hats in this game. This one's actually pretty awesome. It's a jar o' brains. My brain is showing. And the sky crane, that was what I had on earlier. Yes, there is, whoa, a whole bunch of a winter cap. Actually, we'll go with the winter cap for now because we are in a snow frost forest or something of that nature. And it's mighty cold in here. So we're going to do that for now. Alright, so getting back to the things that we need to do today. First and foremost, if you watched the last episode, you would have seen me and Iron Man 8692 have a little bit of trouble with the monsters. We were able to, at the end, find ourselves a bat and get ourselves bat form, as you can see. So now we can fly around. Whoa. Which is just super awesome. I've been using this form quite a bit since we've done that. But we definitely need to upgrade our weapons and our tools because what we have just ain't cutting it. So today we are going to build the Tinker's Construct Smeltery and start actually making some real metal alloys. And I'll walk over and show you where we're planning on doing this. So here, why don't I flip into bat form once again. And we'll fly over. So actually, one thing I should mention too is that this is the cave that we were in before. But we've hollowed it out a little bit, and as we went straight through to the back and started cutting, we cut right back into, this is the cave actually where we found the bats. And if we follow this all the way around, you'll see it leads us right back out to where we came in. So what I've done, and Iron Man and I have done for a little bit, is we kind of went through and looked around and explored a bit. And I've been doing quite a bit of resource gathering to get ready for this episode. And there is this massive underground cave in here, which I've lit up to keep all of the mobs from spawning. As you can see, there are a few entrances into this cave system from the outside as well, which might cause a bit of problems. Lots of mobs have been walking in here as I've been trying to clean things out. I've got a few things set up and ready to go here. We've got a couple of chests and these books. These are the books from Tinker's Construct that we'll get into quite a bit in this episode. We've also got a bunch of the ores that I've been collecting. The flint pickaxe is not capable of gathering a lot of the ores, right? So it is capable of gathering tin, copper, and not aluminum ore, but actually aluminum gravel ore. A lot of these, and it also can gather iron. And well, the shovel actually can gather the gravel. But some of these ores I'm not able to gather. I think lead is one of them, and aluminum ore is one of them. The reason I actually have these is because there were quite a few creepers hiding in this cave system that caused a bit of damage whenever they exploded. And when they exploded, they actually let loose some of these ores. So we have a few of them. And they're ready to go. The thing that we're actually going to do in this episode, though, is I'm going to take you through how to build a smeltery, and I've collected the resources that we're going to need. And I'm going to build it in here somewhere. So we'll pick a spot, and we'll build it in here. A couple of few things I'd like to just talk about first before we get going on that is at the end of the last episode, Iron Man and myself kept obviously resource gathering and doing a few things. I got this set up a little bit better. There is these drying racks that we kind of showed you a little bit in the last episode. They allow you to dry, I only thought, the monster jerky. But I discovered that you can actually dry up a whole bunch of things. So I've got some examples here for you. You can actually dry fish on these drying racks, and they'll give you fish jerky. You can dry the in this mod pack, it looks like the monster brains, but it's just the monster flesh, and it gives you monster jerky. You can also throw raw chicken on there, and it gives you chicken jerky, and you can throw raw pork on there, and it gives you bacon jerky, as well as raw beef, and it gives you beef jerky. And you get all these different types of jerky, and they actually give you just as much hunger bars regrowth as the cooked form of the same thing. But according to the website, it also lasts longer. The satiation is higher, so you actually get them. So it's actually a little bit better than if you just cook it up normally. So I've been drying all this stuff, and I have quite a stockpile of this so far, which is awesome. As you can see, I've been collecting a few random things too as I've been going out in the world. I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. I do know that these things here, these are all from the necromancy. So we got hearts, lungs, muscles, and brains. And we get to use these if we decide to get into the necromancy mod. That allows us to make minions, which I think would be pretty awesome. We can basically take a bunch of different parts of mobs in the game, put them together, so you can have like the Enderman body with a skeleton arms and pig, like, I don't know. You can mix and match everything and then make this crazy looking minion that will act and follow you just like a dog does and protect you if you get attacked, which is pretty cool. Iron Man, in the last episode, though, went nuts with a mod in this game called Mr. Crayfishes Furniture Mod. And he got big time into a lot of this stuff. So he made himself a TV here. And this is just freaking awesome. There is He-Man on one channel, Nancat on another, and then the bars on the last, and turns off and cycles through. But that's just pretty cool. And he kind of slowly set himself up a little bedroom in here. And he also found these Bibliocraft oak tables and the Mr. Crayfish's wooden chairs. You can't actually sit in these yet, but that I'm assuming is coming in a future update. Got myself some furniture here. And he also found the doorbell, which he had to set up out here, which he thought that was pretty awesome. So that's kind of some of the stuff that had been done in the fort here since the last time around. Obviously, you can see I've been doing some killing. I got a whole bunch more heads. But at this... there's one more thing that I would like to actually mention. As I was flying around in the world, doing a little bit of exploring, as you can see, going around looking for different things. I did find a zombie dungeon over here, and in that dungeon... in the dungeon I found a dragon egg, a safari net. So dragon eggs, this is a mod in this that allows you to actually hatch your own dragons, and you can fly them around and the whole 9 yards. They protect you as well. Safari nets, which are really awesome, you can use them to capture mobs in the game in these and then bring them with you wherever you want them to go and then release them. I don't know what this white stone is from random things. I haven't looked into that. I'll have to. Open blocks, the stencil, I believe this is used for, you can actually create paint and paint brushes and then start painting the exterior of things, and you can use these stencils to make a pattern with the paint. I'd have to look into that a little bit more too. I also found a witch circle, which I'll go out and show you guys a little later. And in the middle of these witch circles, there's actually a dispenser of some kind in the middle, and you can grab stuff out of them. And the one that I just happened by had some lapis, another dragon egg, and a pile of ashes, which I'm not exactly sure what those do, but we'll find a use for them. So just want to let you know I found those things. And maybe near the end we'll go for a little bit of a flyabout, and I'll show you what those witch circles look like. So for now, we need to get going on actually build. I guess one last thing I should mention too is I have now a full set of leather armor. I killed a lot of cows to gather enough for this, as you can see with all the monster jerky, or not monster, with all the beef jerky that I have. So I'm a little bit more protected, and that's a good thing. I also I've been gathering up a few little things here, so I'm letting some mushrooms grow. I also found some of these oreberry bushes, and basically what these do is you have to put them in a dark place, and they grow up to this full size. This is still not a full size one. Once they're full size though, they actually create copper oreberry, and you can put this in the smeltery as well, and it's a renewable source of copper. And there's ones for tin, copper, aluminum, all that kind of stuff. So as you find these things, it actually makes a bit of a renewable source for your metals, which is just pretty cool. So we want to get in here and start. Now it's dark. The mobs might be coming in through these holes. Oh, you can see over here too, I actually found another one, which I put here. Got some more copper. Let's just put these in here. That's where this copper oreberry came from. Well, yeah, you can hear that. We got the monsters coming around. So one thing that I thought we could do is in the mod pack for Tinker's Construct, there is some perimeter defense stuff that we can do. As you can see, I've done a bit of gathering. And I believe if we take you need to actually use full-on logs for this. And nope, that's not how it works. Well, actually, maybe this is a perfect time to actually show you the books. Because in the books, they tell you how to do all these things. There's a zombie really close by. So let's grab these books. So we've got Materials in You. I believe this is the first one. Materials in You Volume 1 and Materials in You Volume 2. So if we open up the Volume 1, this gets into all of the basics of Tinker's Construct. A lot of this will already be familiar from the first episode. So I'm not going to read through all of this, but basically this actually gives you the recipes for a lot of the major stuff that we did in the first episode, right? So it tells you how to make the blank pattern, it tells you how to make that stencil table, it tells you how to make the part crafter, and the pattern chest. If I go back, I did make one of these after the last episode, and they're quite useful. And I'll show you how they work really quick here. So you'll see in the middle here we have a pattern chest, and I put it beside the part builder. And basically what it allows you to do is all of your patterns that you create, you put in this pattern chest, and when you open up the part builder, you have to place the pattern chest beside the part builder, and then you can have access to all your stencils right there. It's pretty awesome. So that's the pattern chest. The next thing that we want to do, there's zombies all about. The next thing we want to do now, though, is let's look back in this book. And so yeah, there's the stencil table, the pattern chest, the tool station. We created this. This is the next level of the tool station, the tool forge. We don't have enough resources for this yet. We have to make our smeltery so that we can make ourselves some blocks of iron. And these blocks here are the seared bricks, I believe. They're the same bricks that we're going to be using to actually create our smeltery. So we're going to be pretty close to being able to make this forge once we get our smeltery going. We just need to smelt up a bunch of the iron that we've collected already. And this allows you to make the tier 2 weapons and tools. And some of these tools are just amazing. And we'll get into those a little later. Drying racks. And this talks about those ore berries. This also tells you how to create these slime channels and bouncing paths that come into the game. It's basically like water, where it actually will move stuff in a certain direction. So it could be useful in that sense. Bouncing pads, these are actually, if you jump on these, they actually bounce you really high. Here we go. This is what we kind of want to make really quick here, is we can make these Punji Sticks, which are traps for mobs. If they walk on these, they actually get damaged. And you can also make these barricades. So yeah, so just a couple of logs, and we can make these barricades. So we're going to do that right away here, and we're going to put them in the entrances to our smeltery cave. The next thing that we're going to do is actually build the smeltery. And to do that, I had to make a lot of this grout. And it's just basically as you can see here, sand, gravel, and clay. So I went out and I searched for quite a bit of that material. I'm not sure if I have any more of it, so I can't actually show that. I've already made it all so that we're ready for this episode. But basically it's just in the crafting table, you throw in these 3 things, you can stack them up. For every 3 that you put in of all the different types, you get 2 of the grout. Then you just cook up the grout and you get these seared bricks, which is what we have in the other chest. Then you use the seared bricks to basically create all the different things we need for the smeltery. So the seared bricks combine in 4 to make the actual seared bricks. You need to make a smeltery controller. This is actually how you see what's in your smeltery, and it actually needs this to work. You if you lose your books, you can recreate them with these methods, and you can always make the second book, and then so here's the first book, the second book, and then the last book, the Mighty Smelting book, which we don't have yet, but it'll pop up in our inventory as soon as we create our first smelted brick. So that's the first book. The second book gets into the tools, the materials, and the modifiers. This is pretty cool. So this actually tells you how to, what is the pickaxe, what is good for, and the shovel, hatchet, the mattock. Mattock is basically just, it's like a shovel and a axe put together. Not quite as efficient as them separately, but it's a convenient tool. And the swords, right? We haven't made one of these yet, but this is what we're going to build in this episode. So we've got a broadsword, a longsword, and a rapier. I want to build a rapier. I think this thing looks pretty awesome. There are other swords. They have different properties. You can make a dagger, and you can make a frying pan, which is kind of funny. You can make a battle sign, which is a joke weapon of some kind. You can make a chisel. We'll have to do this later on. This allows you to actually chisel out stones and make them look really cool for building. These are the tier 2 weapons now. So we've got the hammer and the lumber axe. The hammer actually mines out 3x3 areas. The lumber axe destroys trees. You can fell trees, entire trees, by hitting the bottom. Excavator is a 3x3 area of, gravel and dirt and things of that nature. A scythe is a 3x3 area or 3x3x3 area of, so for farming, crops and all that type of stuff. The cleaver is a more advanced weapon. It actually has a natural ability to behead things. The battle axe, a better weapon. You got the short bow and the arrow. I actually did create these already. I just made the very basics ones. Bowstrings and tool rods, like wooden tool rods and the basic bowstring. And same with the arrows. I just used flint, a wooden tool rod, and then just the normal fletching, which is made out of feathers. I just made a couple to try them out. They're actually really cool. The arrows are reusable. You don't lose them, which is really awesome. And my bow is basically no better than the basic one right now, but you can make way better bows with different materials, and we'll get into that as well in the future. Then it goes through and it basically walks you through all the different types of materials, what they're good for, what their mining speed is, what they can actually mine, and it's all pretty awesome. So you can go through these things. We're gonna use. I basically made up my mind on what I want to build my sword out of, and we'll see how good it is. But I'll go through why I picked the materials I picked once we get through that as well. So yeah, this just goes through and talks about all the different things. You can modifiers. You can add more modifiers to things. Modifiers allow you to add auto smelt, auto repair, luck, sharpness, fiery, necrotic, silky, and it tells you how to make those things. Reinforced, knockback, beheading, bane of Atherod, smelt. It's all really awesome. So we'll go through more and more of this stuff as we continue on, but there is a ton of things to do in here. So why don't we get started now on actually building our smeltery. Once we've made our defensive system, like I said we were going to. So let's just quickly go in here. We've got a few of these sugar canes. I believe I just put them like this. Do we have enough for, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. How many can we actually make? All right, so we got 15 of them. We'll use for some defense, and then we can make a bunch of these. So we got 10 of those and 15 of these. Let's see what we can do with these. Let's go back over here. And where are all the entrances? So we got an entrance up here. So I'm thinking what makes sense is to put the barriers back a bit and put, so if we put, say, a barrier, let's see how this works. Here. Oh, I think this is going to take a lot more. Oh, wow. Okay, this is not as... We're gonna need a lot of these. Alright, well, let's put some of these down here. At least we'll hear them. If mobs try to come in, where I think there's another entrance somewhere. If mobs try to come in, we'll hear them getting smacked. Where is... I thought there was a second entrance to this. Or is it just the one? There's this one here. And what... Oh, maybe this is it over here. Yeah, here we are. Alright. So if we put... Oh, we can put more than one in a spot. Oh, look at that. Probably does more damage that way. Okay, so we got a little bit of a defensive barrier over there. Alright. So now at least if they come walking in to ruin our day, we should hear them. So the next thing, you know what? I should probably build another crafting table and have it over here so we don't have to keep going back and forth. So why don't we take some of this wood. Let's make a crafting table, make a crafting station. And head back over to where we're going to build our smeltery. And let's put this down right there while we get working. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is grab a bunch of this. Excuse me. And the glass. And we need to build up. So we're going to need let's see here. We need a bunch of things. So these are all the seared bricks that I was telling you about. I cooked all those up ahead of time. We need to have a controller, which I believe is all the way around. Yep. So there's the controller. Oh, and look at that. We got the mighty smelting book as soon as we made that. So this goes through and actually tells you about all the different things that we can make. So yeah, here, so the smelting controller. We're going to need this seared tank. And this is the basic structure of how we have to build it. It's the middle, and I believe it has to be this size. And you can build up as high as you want. And this is the basic smelting. So yeah, if we go through, and yeah, this tells you how to make the grout and the seared bricks, the smelter controller. We need a drain. We're going to need 2 drains. We're going to need a seared tank to put our lava in. And we're going to need seared glass. Yeah, I'm going to use the seared glass is actually kind of a tank as well. It holds lava, but it also means that you can look in and it looks pretty awesome. I like the way that the seared glass looks. The seared window, I'm not exactly a fan of it, so I'm going to use the seared glass here. And then the seared windows, yeah, we're not going to use those. We need these faucets as well to get the stuff out. We need the casting. We don't need a channel. That's for actually letting molten metal go from one location to another. You can actually channel them in and out. Casting table, we're going to need one of those. We're going to need a couple of casting basins. Yeah, and this tells you, oh, and this then goes through and talks about what some of the stuff you can do, right? Like all the different things you can actually do up. So let's get started. Let's put these books back up here. Whoops. There we go. All right. So we have our smeltery controller, and now we're going to need we need about 8, I believe, of the seared glass. So the glass goes like that, and then like that. Yeah. So, and I think I need 8 of these. Yeah. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I missed one up here. And then let's build 8 of these. There we go. We got 8 of those. And we also need a tank, which I believe was glass down the middle. Nope, that's a seared window. We don't want that. What was... Let's see here. Okay, so down the sides of the drains, we need 2 of those. Got to remember that. 2 of those. The tank, okay, it's just the glass in the middle. And the faucets are just like that. And the table is like that. And the casting basin is like that. Okay, so let's see if we can remember this. I might not. All right, so we just wanted glass in the middle. And we wanted these all around. Cool, that gives us the seared tank. All right, and then we need to put the drains. We need some drains, so we need 2 drains like that. And we also need, let's see here. So we've got the glass, the controllers, the tank. We need 2 faucets for those drains. We need a basin like that. And we need the table like that. So we get the basin, the casting table, the drains, the faucets, the tank, the controllers. Now we need a bunch of bricks. So we need to make, oh, how many of these bricks are we going to need? We're going to need quite a few of these bricks, I imagine. Let's not use them all just in case. What do we got here? So that gives us 35 of those. So let's start by placing these down. Let's just build it right here. So we need to, what's kind of center in here? Let's go, say, right here. So we need to cut out. So 1, okay, let's go here and here. And this will be the base. Just like that. And then around the outside, I wanted to go bang, bang, like this. Right? And then this is now where we put the glass in. Let's see here. So put 2 up of glass like so. Right? And then we want the front to be where we come from here. So this will be the front of it. So let's put the Smeltery controller and the seared tank. So let's put the controller, say here, and let's put the tank right there. All right, it's coming together. Now we'll put this side has more room, so let's put the casting table and the drains and the basin and the faucets on this side. So we need a drain, I believe this place, yes, that places it the right way. So you see on this side it's a small hole, and on the inside it's a big hole for draining. And then we put the casting table down, and we put the basin down. So this now, oh, and we need the faucets right there and right there. Now we'll be able to drain our metals out into these. All right, and then now we just basically need to fill in the rest. So that we go bang, 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 bang. There. Now it's I've done too high, just because. Oh, you see it lit up here, right? So when you see the furnace lit up, that means that it's a complete unit, and it'll actually work now. We need to obviously add our lava, which I already have. You only have to make this 1 high to get it going, if you only have enough resources to do that. But the higher you make this, the more you can place inside of it. So we could even make this even higher. I've probably got enough stuff to do that, but we can do that later. So let's put some of these bricks back in here. Whoa. I heard. There. See, our defensive system works. We heard them coming in. Gotcha. Die, 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 die. Got it. Alright. I heard him. He got smacked on our Punji Sticks on the way in. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Alright. So now the next thing we have to do is we need to take the lava and put it in here. And you'll see, oh, we got more guys coming to say hi. Die. Gotcha. I still hear lots of guys outside. I think we're gonna have a bunch of visitors tonight. Anyhow, so here we go. We've got a bunch of lava in here. Looks like we could actually put in a bit more. Let's see if we can put all 5 of these in here. That fills that up. Whoa! I heard you. Alright. Let's pick that up. That's food. Alright, so look, we got lava, all this lava in here. And so the next thing that we need to do then is just start placing all of our metals in here. Now, we need to put these metals in and let them smelt up in the right amounts so that we can actually create different alloys. And so that is listed in our book here. All the different alloys that you can make. So you can obviously just smelt up the normal stuff, but you can also combine things. So if you put 3 copper in and a tin, it'll make a bronze ingot. If you put in 3 aluminum and a copper, it'll make brass, or aluminum brass. This is the first thing we need to make because this will allow us to actually make our casts so that we can create the different tools that we want. So like our sword heads. So we need to smelt up some of this, and we need to smelt up some of this bronze. This bronze is what we're actually going to make our sword out of, or at least our sword head out of. And the aluminum brass allows us to actually do that. These other materials, or these other alloys that we can create later, require us to get things like cobalt and ardite, and I believe those 2 things are in the nether, and you need to have a much stronger pick to get those in the first place. So I believe actually we are over the time that I wanted to put into this episode, so I'm gonna stop it right here. We've got the smeltery created, and all we have to do now, whoops, throw our books on the ground, and then we can put the ores in here, smelt them up, start making our casting basins, and then creating the tools that we want to make and the weapons we want to make. So in the next episode, we'll continue on from right here, and I'll show you how to smelt that stuff up, make those, make the casts, and then actually create our first sword. So with that, let me convert myself back into myself here. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.